Good morning to you. My name is Catherine, here from the Best Western Hotel at Signature Mall along Mombasa Road. Thank you to the management for giving us this space to have this beautiful conversation this morning with poets. Today we discuss some bit of insanity, and I'm joined by Odhiambo, Okello, and Oyo. Yes, they have first names, but today we choose to just go by their the triple O's. Look at you. Yeah, I like that. And he's the author of this book called Season of the Insane: Poems, Short Stories, and Humor. Karibu to the program. You're actually, by the way, this is like ha 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 loud. Do you know this LOL, that LOL thing people say?
Yeah.
No, usually people say hello, and it's not even like, ha. Yours were, you read and you actually laugh out loud. So you're naturally funny.
No, not really. The things around me.
The things around you?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So you described our panelist, whom you all know each other.
Yes.
You said he's what level of insanity? You called him something?
He's a fool.
He's a he's a fool and a moron. Okay. And what about...
in creativity, when someone calls you a moron, it means that you're good. So.
Is it?
It means that you're good. So.
If I dare call someone I work with a moron, that would be a human resource problem.
He's a creative who writes and does comedy acts. If you call him a moron,
it's like high praise.
exactly.
Is it?
It's a superlative.
Are you feeling commended highly?
Yes. Actually, Odhiambo is my mentor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. So when he calls you anything, it's a yes.
Yes.
And then you even double yes. And now yours now is now for next level. Untouchable. How would you describe him?
I think Bob is just the king of madness. Like, he was just born mad. Yeah.
Okay.
Comes from the kingdom of madness, I think.
The kingdom of madness.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing? But
If
there is, then he's a king.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Yes.
refers to my mother.
And boy, how would you describe him?
You know, it's only madmen who have the boldness to tell the truth about society. You need to be mad to tell the truth.
Ah.
Yeah.
So then you're mad because your book, which you previewed a couple of weeks ago, there's lots of truths there about society.
It's in the level of madness. His is so brutal.
And you agree. I saw a YouTube clip of yours. I want, with your permission, if we can run it for the viewers to see. Yeah? Let's just see his level of madness. Then we can all choose to agree or disagree as to what Okello and Oyo have said.
You are a colorless. No. Never. You are a color red. No. You are a colorful.
Jakindu gulps you with eyes closed. You sweet fermented water. He frowns, sipping you, then lets an ish. It's so sweet. How? On the lonely road back home, Jakindu wobbles and shouts. His self-soaked trouser is trailed by houseflies.
So let's come to your book. Is this you? No, actually it's not you.
This is a guy. We have different levels of insanity.
Okay.
So I'm just in the stages of describing the cover.
Okay.
So Season of the Insane refers to the season of madness, when there are all these mad things happening in the world around us, and these mad things needed to be written. Then Season of the Insane also refers to the season of the insane, that season where the artist or the creative feels very creative. So there's the insanity of creativity, and then there's the insanity of the madness of the society around us. Yeah, so the cover, I needed someone getting out of newspapers, dailies, and then there are graves. And then as you can see,
Oh yeah, there are graves.
you see the colors of our flag, the Kenyan flag in those newspapers?
Yes.
There's red, yellow, green.
Yeah.
And then those daily news making headlines in the top story, legalize corruption in church, legalize murder. All those, and then amidst this guy is disgusted and maybe crying, maybe laughing. You see, his face is 50-50. If you look at it from the angle of someone laughing, you see a guy laughing. If you look at someone disgusted, you find it in his face. If you look at someone terrified, you find that.
Yeah.
If you look at his hair, of course, that reflects the freedom fighter's hair.
Okay.
Actually, his hair is decent.
Oh, okay. How is it usually?
Like the guy here, because he's insane like this guy.
Okay.
And then the road depicts a journey through life, and then the road has potholes. So the journey through life is full of potholes.
It's a very well thought out cover.
Yeah, it's never an easy journey.
Yeah.
And then when you walk through the road of life, you can see coffins outside the road of life. There are always things that will want to scare you from your journey.
Yeah.
There are the coffins next to the road. And then now we have the old shoe. An old shoe depicts struggle. So
It's old and torn, actually.
yeah, so amidst all these struggles that make us laugh and make us cry and make us disgusted,
Yeah.
we are in the road of life, all of us, and probably, you never know, maybe this road is winding to the grave.
Yeah, maybe. Who designed this for you?
It's called Seth Sketcher.
So you had to like explain what you wanted, or he just...
No, actually the concept came from, I love working with a team of guys. So there's a friend of mine called Anthony, he's also my protege.
Okay.
He's a painter. So
Oh, wow.
I also
love
paint.
painters.
I also
Oh.
paint. So you
I should do... Okay, wow then.
So Anthony is a painter. So there are some of the paintings he did. So when I was looking for a concept for the book, I went through his concepts. Then I picked one, and then I told him, try to develop something from here. Then he hand painted it. Then I told Seth that this is what I want. So Seth is a digital drawer, digital painter.
Right.
Yeah, so the concept was developed by Anthony.
And Seth Digital.
And Seth.
Digi.
That one.
Yeah.
Then of course now I tied that to the poems. That were.
I love it. I love it. I mean, this cover is a story by itself. Oyo,
Yes.
which is your best poem here and why? Are you ready to read it?
Yes, I'll read it.
What page is it?
Page 50.
50.
The,
Okay,
if
go.
you lie, yeah? The poem is titled If You Lie. Lies are good. Creativity, they improve. They sound good to ears that hear, not ears that listen. But whenever you lie, another lie you need to cover the first lie. To cover all the lies, how many covers will you require? Uncountable. Careful when you cheat, for in covering lies, you might be late to discover how cautiously a coward you become for lying. The society is so full of lies, and everywhere people are masquerading to be things they are not. Politicians, even us, we ordinary human beings going about our daily lives try to masquerade and wear masks that are not ours. So I still insist that it is only the mad that we see in the society, those that the society have termed as misfits. They are the only ones that are true faces. Otherwise, everyone has a mask.
Oh, wow, I see what you mean. Like, so the misfits we see them for who or what they are.
Exactly, nothing else. You know, when we're here, I'm so sure our viewers have constructions about us. Yeah, he's so-and-so, she is that and that.
Yeah.
But when you meet a madman in the streets, that is who he is. Yeah.
Vile tumemwona ndivyo yuko.
Absolutely no mask. Yeah.
Wow, what was the inspiration, and do you agree with what his interpretation is?
You don't need to chase wide, so that was not my interpretation.
Okay.
But then he's interpreted it the way I'd never seen before, so it's a good
Oh, that happened also in his show.
Yeah, so what I wanted to achieve in that poem was in my family, there were some guys who used to tell lies. A lot of lies. There was a friend of mine, let me call him E, Mr. E. Mr. E would lie about anything, about how big the house is, how he has published many books, how he finished Form 4, where it's been a big school, a big national school, which I won't mention, how he's in college. Unfortunately, Mr. E was expelled from a certain small school, and now he's in another small school. So Mr. E was a liar.
Okay.
Yeah, so his lies to achieve life, even I normally see him on Facebook nowadays.
Okay.
He's still living that kind of life.
So he's in a bubble.
Yeah, he's in a bubble.
Okay.
He's living in
So
past
E
life.
inspired this poem.
Exactly.
You see, he's a great man. His story appears in your book.
No. He's a good example of a bad example.
Which landed still in your book. So, okay. Okello, your mentor. I'm sure you'll say all the poems are great, but which one to you stands out? Which page, and can you read it?
Page 48.
Oh, I liked that as well. The day I die. Yeah, I marked it.
The day I die. The day I die, people will wail. Sorrow, sadness, and solemnity will rent raggedly the air. Dwindling disbelief shall linger, as if I am immortal. Wrong. I am just a human born from a womb that menopauses.
By the way, at that point, I'm sorry, that was so funny. I'm like, you can't just say from a womb, full stop. That's funny.
You see,
Am I the one who finds it funny though? No.
Yeah,
It is funny, isn't it?
But it's the reality. A womb that stops, a womb that dies.
Yeah, but the way he puts it,
The day
you
I
see a womb
die.
that stops, I wouldn't have laughed.
people think that you're immortal, but then your place of origin is also immortal. Is also mortal.
Yeah, it stops, it dies.
What's my place of origin?
The womb. And it stops, it dies.
The womb.
Menopauses.
Menopauses.
Yeah,
the day I
stops,
die.
dies wouldn't make me, oh my gosh, this dude is
You know,
crazy.
menopause means it can no longer be.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it has
it's just the way you put it.
stopped.
Yeah, it's about the choice of words too. Eh?
Okay, continue.
Mightily my admirers will mourn, and my downfall be mourned, pitying my lifeless figure, fixed under some glass and wood for good. Me they will miss, once more, maybe twice, some infinitely, but too late the dear dates. I'll be busy enjoying the pension of a dead poet. Flash no selfies, they are selfish of you. Hashtag funeral manenos, black suits, black dresses. Are you charcoal or tarmac? Don't dress dreaded dark, just be simple. It's a funeral, my funeral, not a paraded party of fashion trends. As I recite this rant, my heart heavies from the weight of deceit, strongly rooted in the chameleon hearts of mankind, when true humans will weep for a poor me, rivers to ocean of tears.
Okay, hold on there. Now that one, that was depth, because there's lots of, and at times I think culturally we are supposed to like wail, mourn. There's some cultures that it's an event.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there are those for whom are not like tied into this whole cultural. They don't have, I mean, they cremate, it's over in a day, you know. But this thing of where we cry and say all of these beautiful things about people, that touched a chord in me. And I've seen it lately this year, especially in our political
Sphere.
Yeah.
I'll be asking myself, why do other people mourn with one eye on the grave and the other eye fixed on my new phone, trendy dresses and classic shoes? If you do that on my funeral, I swear to send you horrible nightmares.
Okay, what was that about?
There are a lot of hypocrites. There are those guys who they pretend to be your friends and they are not your friends. You see, we live in a world whereby you can go hungry, you can sleep hungry. And then there's someone who owes you a debt of, let's say, even 200 bob. They won't send it to you when you need it. But then immediately you die, they'll form a WhatsApp group. They start contributing 1,000 bob, a tao, yet you died of hunger. You see how hypocritical it is. We live in a world where you can die of hunger, then someone throws away food because he has surplus. then he'll still donate money in your favor. Why do you do that? Why can't we just help someone when
They're still alive.
when they are still helpable? That's why
Is
we're
helpable or what?
Well,
It's one. It's okay.
I love improvising.
I like that too, by the way.
Improvising words.
I like that. Okay. Okay.
On my funeral, come not drinking mineral water. If I'd be dead from thirst of thirst, or from lack of some sodium or calcium, you hypocrite. For the great glutton of the village, he'll be smiling and hyena laughing at how funerals provide fantastic feasts, free Fanta, buttered bread and tasty tea. But for the current cost of life so high, sorry to announce, my funeral shall be full of hunger. So come and mourn me with your food ready in your belly.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yes. You know, this poem and Bob, the person, and the character is trying to shake the core of societal structures. Many times we go to funerals in pretense, wearing the mask I talked about. Stripped off that mask, that frown you wear in a funeral, it's a mask that if stripped off, you're so happy. You're so happy that Bob died. You're so happy that you're going to have free Fanta, buttered bread and tasty tea. Yeah. But you wear the frown so that you can be served food.
If you truly love me, your tears will freely flow. Sip your tear, dear. Each drip, each drop, a memory. Each memory, a sigh. Each sigh, a piercing pain. And each pain, a wish. A wish that I, at this, wouldn't bring you this. For this is a loss and a miss.
So I chose the persona of Adis, a lady.
This is like Odhiambo.
This
Okay.
is Odhiambo. Because the first time I wrote this poem, it was of this. Then Professor C.J. Odhiambo, my lecturer, the one who
Did the forward.
did the forward,
Yeah.
he told me that don't include your name in the piece. Make it anonymous.
Why?
I don't know his views, but then
I think part of the reasons why we choose anonymity is that we have different faces, and a writer, a creative writer, or any artist for that matter, has different facets and masks. Yeah, so you cannot present to your audience your real self. You don't even know who you are to start with. Yeah.
Wow.
you see, for example, the poem "If You Lie." If the poem was about Mr. E, maybe yours interpretation would be null and void. But then because it's open, it gives anyone the mind to,
Interpret however.
to interpret.
Yeah. So you're talking about you change from Odis to Adis.
Yeah, to this so that it's a lady.
Yeah. It couldn't be like Otieno.
Oh, he was equally working on the rhyme.
I see that.
Yeah, so I think it
I
had to
see
be
that. Actually, I've seen it. The last.
4 lines. Huh?
So this last stanza was dedicated to now the guys who truly love you. Now the non-hypocrites.
But do you think as a society we'll ever get there where, like you're saying, I'll come to your funeral because I know you, I'll contribute, I'll do that frown for the 3 hours I'm there, and then I go home and my life moves on.
If you realize, the whole poem is about rants. It's how many stanzas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So only one stanza is about the guys who love you. So 1 out of 8 will probably love you in that way.
Wow. Wow.
1 out of 8.
That is sad. And then you say they should not come to your funeral. They should come when they've eaten.
Yeah, come when it's written because
You won't feed them.
I'll be so mad. My spirit will be so mad.
Okay. So there's one here that you'll need to tell me what inspired it. No longer a crush, page 29. She's no more a crush, but a big smash. She is. She spins this world, lights this world. My little universe she is. Eyes big, but not so drowsy or dim. She's slim, but not so slim. A virtuous lady she is. She's not brown, but holds the queendom crown. Yes, the holder she is. Wherever you are, my Nyaber, smile for me like this.
See, life happens in a way that love seems to be one of the overriding themes in the society. So there are series of love poems I've been writing since 2010, depending on who was around me.
What kind of relationship you had?
What kind of relationship was there. So this specifically was for that point.
For that lady?
For that lady.
Okay.
But then, you see...
she's lucky she got a poem.
She doesn't even know it's a poem. I just found it in my archives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you realize with this book, the way it flows, the love poems, they are arranged in a way that they start from love poems that guys are seducing one another, they're lovey-dovey, then they go, then they heartbreak one another, and then they move on. Yeah, so No Longer a Crush is a poem that the guy, the persona is still
in love.
Is still in love with the girl. Yeah, before they break up.
Yeah.
So there are a series of poems that follow that, and then they eventually break up.
Yeah. Okay. What determined that style of writing?
It was not really a style, but then you see, as poets, whenever you're in a certain emotion, whenever you're facing a certain problem, you tend to write it. So when you're in love and it's a good feeling, you write about it. When you're in love and then you have been heartbroken, now it's a bad feeling, you write about it. So all those poems that were in love, good feeling, the ones that I wrote, I arranged them in that order so that we see that life sometimes flows in a way that it starts from good to bad, and then nothing happens.
Maybe healing. There's no healing.
Maybe there's healing.
Yeah.
It's called Moving On.
Yeah. Moving On is healing.
Moving On is a poem called Like Always.
What page is that?
Page 36.
You moved on quickly. Page 36, you have moved on.
He moved on after marrying the lady.
Okay, can you perform that for us then?
The poem is called Like Always. He believed, for it he lived. He thought he achieved. Yes, sad, he did. Fact, yes, sad. All she said were jokes, now turned real sour, yes, sad. She didn't live to them expectations. Betrayed the promise. Heartless, this is sad. But why did she lie? I sigh. Why did she try to make him fly when all she wanted, or when all she so wanted was make him crawl on hot coal? Sad, yes, very. Cry he did, surely, silently, like always. This is a guy who has been heartbroken.
Okay.
He's used to the heartbreaks,
Okay.
always, never seldom, dismissed, feelings dismissed. Sad, yes, very. But then, belief out of this grief of love so brief. He believed that no matter how aggrieved, lessons are achieved. No matter how much you are aggrieved in anything,
There's a lesson.
there's a lesson achieved. So what do you do after achieving a lesson? Move on, yes. Very sad, but then just do it.
And down there?
Down there.
What does
Now
that
this one, these are humor. These are joke now dedicated or let's assume you wanted to marry that lady. So he's so disgusted and he says that the day I decide to take dowry to my wife's home, I'll take only one pregnant cow and leave it there to bear the rest. Probably this guy was heartbroken because maybe he married the lady, he took a lot of cows, he bought a lot of cows, he spent a lot of cash on them. So maybe he's saying that the next time I get married, I'll just take
one pregnant
one
cow.
pregnant cow.
I think there's something I would wish to mention and emphasize, particularly on Bob's book, Season of the Insane. We have so many books in the market that are anthologies of poems combined with short stories, but these are very different genre. Like, we don't have a book out there in the market, for sure. We don't have any that has snippets of humor. We don't have a book out there that has poems, short stories, and humor. Yeah. All the books out there are about short stories and anthologies of poems.
Yeah.
So it's a very unique book.
Yeah.
Actually, what I wanted to do was that, you see, when you have a book of an anthology of poems, and I shared with him the idea before, I met him before, after he had written Maiden Melodies.
Yeah.
I shared with him that, you see, that there's a past world that guys believe that if you read a book that has only poems, there's a point it becomes monotonous, boring, especially if you've not arranged them theme-wise. Likewise, if you read a book that has only short stories, it becomes monotonous. You might get bored. And we live in a society where guys, they get bored quickly, they go to Facebook, they start chatting. So to keep their attention, I wanted to mix up.
The humor in it.
Mix up a humor, a short story, a poem.
Yeah.
So that
So
it's like a montage.
when we come back from the break, will you perform the way I saw you do on YouTube? Or that was something totally different?
I don't know, I can.
Oh, perfect. You do not want to miss that performance, I promise you. Right after the break.